So this is the C&O bike path. I've made many videos of it. Some of them even made it to YouTube. There's the Potomac River. And there is Rosslyn, Virginia, the downtown section of Arlington, which has 30 and 40-story buildings, high-rises taller than D.C., since D.C. has a law against having a building being over about 10 stories, and that's the Key Bridge, named after Francis Scott Key. And this is a little tape of the C&O bike path as you go into Georgetown, just because I think it's interesting to look at the bridges from the bottom. Perhaps Homeland Security will stop me after my videotaping bridges. Anyway, this boathouse is all tied up now in legal problems because technically I guess the ground belongs to the city. And someone's decided that after having been here for decades that this person should no longer be able to rent it, not renting it to somebody else. Why they don't just sell it to him and let him and other people have competitive private boathouses. One can only imagine perhaps they're going to take the land back and sell it off to some developer who gives them all $650,000 for their political campaigns, something that's happened in D.C. before. And you know, if they actually managed to sell it off and it became private property and was out of their hands, perhaps that would be a small price to pay, except that we keep having corrupt politicians who've been in office for 20 years in D.C. running virtually unopposed because developers keep giving them $700,000 to run for mayor or Congress. Anyway, it's the Washington Canoe Club. I could be wrong. That might not be the boathouse that's tied out, but one of them down here is. There's the Key Bridge in Arlington. Apparently I'm not being arrested yet for filming the Key Bridge from the underside. It's a very pretty day. It's kind of cool. But there's a man up there. I don't know. That's two men. I don't think they're just people. Oh, there's some kind of disturbance in the water. Off in the distance, looks kind of like bubbles and kind of like diamonds. If I can get down there, I'll film it. Although these cars are going crazy now. This one's trying to get in the way. Anyway, there's some bubbling action. Oh. Down here in the Potomac.
Consumers beware. Know that virtually everything they need to steal your identity is
Oh, you know what? It's not bubbling, but it is showing up on tape as well as in reality. So it's on the iPad as well as my eyes. It's the reflection off the modern high-rises of Arlington is making a diamond-shaped bright spot in the water. I thought it was bubbles or sort of diamondy-looking things, but it's just a reflection off all the glass. Anyway, there's Georgetown up above us, along the canal. I think I don't have the energy to go up and get on the canal today. Maybe there'll be another YouTube of the canal later. This is Georgetown under the Whitehurst Expressway, which is what the thing is that's making our roof here over K Street. This is the beginning of K Street, actually. The C&O Canal becomes K Street, which K Street in Georgetown is where Nancy Pelosi lives in a building called Washington Harbor. It's only 2 blocks from here. Only 2 blocks from here there is a condo building where I'm not sure there's anything for sale for less than $1 million, and I'm sure some of them are $4 million or so on the top, including probably hers. But it starts out like this. Oh, I'm sorry, we're at 3530. She's at 3030. We're 5 blocks away. So here it's industrial, and about 4 blocks it becomes super gentrified. Maybe even less than 4 blocks. Although, even though these don't look like much, the other side of these little places, which do at least have parking, are on the Potomac River. They probably have patios on the Potomac. So they're nothing to sneeze at. Even though we're down here in what appears to be an industrial district. Anyway, they call this little piece of K Street Water Street. Because you have to go through Georgetown, past Nancy Pelosi at 3030 K Street. And then you're in Foggy Bottom K Street, which is where the Watergate is. And then when you get to about 2300 K Street, 2200 K Street, which is 13 blocks from here. Then you hit the lobbyist part of K Street. Anyway, but down here there are little abandoned buildings like that under the bridge. But there are also some luxury condos that only start a couple of blocks. Which is why they're giant white limos that say Class Act. Oh, there's somebody in that. It's going to want to know why I'm filming. He's lost his plate. Anyway. And the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is up ahead. In fact, it's the brown brick building. You can just see the edge of it in the sunlight. They bought an old warehouse building. And made it into a office. Used to be a power plant. Everything down here used to be either a power plant or a flour mill or a paper mill. And hence, there is currently a power plant being sold off, or it's been sold off to some developer. Don't know what it's going to become. And there's a condo called the flour mill, a condo called the paper mill, and a homeowners association full of condo townhouses called Paper Mill Court. But that brick building with the big windows that we're looking at is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This used to be kind of nasty, beaten up gym full of sweaty people and free weights, but apparently it's about to become music, arts, and pastries. Your tax dollars at work. This cute little park here across from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is also your tax dollars at work. In fact, this has been people's tax dollars at work for a long time in one way or another, because this is where the old impound lot was. DC would steal your car because you parked for over 2 hours without having a DC inspection sticker